Hi, Stampers. It's Lisa. Welcome to today's Facebook Live. We are the day after Christmas. Wow, that went fast. How's everybody doing? Are we recovered? Have we gotten things cleaned up, got the aftermath out of the way? It was just my husband and I yesterday, so we actually decided to take the tree down. I decided I wanted room back in my living room. So we're all packed up and ready to go. And that's a good thing because there are so many things going on with Stampin' Up. I've got some behind the scenes stuff to do that you're going to absolutely love. But today we're here for today's Facebook Live, and we're going to be playing around with the Biggest Wish stamp set. It's in the annual catalog, and we're going to do hinge stamping with the Stamparatus because I haven't done it in a while. And I was talking with a new stamper who's coming to my classes who hadn't seen it before. So we played around with it, and I thought I'd share that with you today. And I do know what I'm doing on Thursday, so stick around. I actually even know what I'm doing the next week. For the first week of the new year, I'm playing with a new stamp set that's going to be going live January 5th. So there's lots of fun stuff coming up. So let's play with the Stamparatus. Now, hinge stamping is just one of many things that it does. It's probably the most frequently used, I think, from what I've seen, but we can make wreaths and we can do clear embossing, in any color. There's lots of things. But today, we're doing hinge stamping. We're playing with the Biggest Wish stamp set. I picked this one because it's got a nice, big, bold greeting, and that's great for quick and easy cards. And as we're coming up on the new year, now is a time to start building up that collection of cards that you have pre-made. And birthdays is one of those things I try to stock up on because they sneak up on me. I'll admit, they kind of show up and I'm not prepared. So being the new year, I'm going to start being prepared, and I'm going to do a lot of birthday cards, and this one is a great one for that. I'm doing a rainbow pattern, and this one I used Tempting Turquoise, Parakeet Party, Melon Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and this is Sweet Sorbet. And then I did this in Blackberry Bliss. And that was a really pretty color combination. I did it with the large ink pads. And because my new in colors are very new, they were really juicy. And if you look, that first happy had a little bit of bubbles to it, which I was not happy with. I went ahead and left it because I'm going to show you how we take care of that. If you get one of our new pads and they are too juicy, which, sometimes they are, especially since they're designed to store upside down. So all of the ink that would normally puddle at the bottom, because it's upside down, it's puddling on the top of the pad, which when they're a little bit older, that's fabulous. When they're brand new, maybe not so much. So I take a regular spoon and I push it in. I rub the back of a spoon gently around and just push the ink deeper in. And this is also what I do when I re-ink. When this gets really dry and it needs new ink, I'll put drops of ink on it and then push it in and move it around with the back of a spoon. And by doing that, it makes it so that that stamp doesn't do that bubbly thing. Come on, give me some scrap paper. There we go. Oh. There we go. Nope, and it still did it. Yikes. Boy, that's being temperamental. There's a lot of ink on that one. Okay, so when that happens, if there's too much ink, I have dabbed it with a paper towel. But normally this works. Better. This may need a dab with a paper towel. But normally that does work. The camera is rolling. I tell you, when the camera rolls, things go all wonky. But that does normally work, I promise. And that is how you re-ink pads. Welcome, everyone. I see lots of people chiming in and saying hello. Make sure that you type in hashtag Prize Patrol. You can see a couple people have already done that. They do that because it enters them into the drawing, because I'm going to pick someone from today's live that's watching live, and they're going to get today's card mailed to them in the mail. And the way you get entered is you put in that hashtag Prize Patrol, and then I have a computer in the background grabbing all of those names, throwing it into a little wheel, and we're going to spin that at the end. So hashtag Prize Patrol, all one word, run together. All is one word. So hashtag Prize Patrol. I started reading comments. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so what we're going to need for this card is a regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of, and this is Tempting Turquoise. Probably should have picked a different color, huh? I'm going to use a different set of colors here. We'll see how it works out. This is a Parakeet Party, and that is 2 1/4 by 5.5. And then I have basic white, 2 inches by 5.5. And then I have a scrap that I'm going to stamp birthday on. And then I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. And mine has this little sticky sheet in here. When you get it, it will have the 2 magnets on the back. They won't have the duct tape on it. I added the duct tape as a way to be able to pick them up and grab them, because they are very, very strong. And if they were to snap together, there's the risk that they will break, and we don't want to do that. I started using the grid paper when I needed to do a background stamp. These are great for background stamps, but you need to get it all over. And so the magnet would get in the way. So I found these sticky grid sheets online, and there is a link on my blog. If you go to my website and under shopping for card making supplies, there's recommended products, and it's going to give you a link to where you can purchase these there. They're not necessary. You can use the magnets, and you can move the magnets around. It's going to work just fine. That is how this was designed. I just happen to have them in there, and I'm just going with it. Now, I have just put my cardstock in there, and I aligned it at the 1/2 inch mark here and the 1/2 inch mark here. And so that's going to keep me totally straight. And then I have my stamp. I'm going to position that kind of where I want it. I believe about there. And then I'm going to close. And so by pushing down on that, that's going to pick up the stamp. Now I can double check by looking at my grid lines. And I don't know if you can see, but my grid lines do go right across the top of that stamp. Let's see. I can get it to where I can show you guys. Do you see the grid lines? There we go. So I use the grid lines to make sure that my stamp is straight. That comes in very handy for working with sentiments and things that you want straight. A stamp case fits perfectly under there so that you can just set it down. This allows you to ink it up. This time I'm using our little mini pads, and this one here is one of the ones I re-inked. A couple of these came out of our paper pumpkin kit. Did you know that we have kits? There's the option for getting the one in the mail every month, paper pumpkin, and it does come with the little ink pads, but also our kits that you can purchase out of the catalog too. So yeah, if you did break your magnets, we do sell replacements. That is an option in our annual catalog. And all of these things can be purchased in my online store. In the back of the annual catalog, we have an index. And so you can see here, die cutting and embossing, embellishments, paper and packaging, ink and coloring. All those things are here. We have tools, 47 to 149. Let's see if that's it. Okay, here is our Stamparatus. So that is on page 147. And then the, I was looking for something else. Oh, the mini ink spots are in here as well. And they come in a set. And you can either get them already inked. There is the one set. It's just an assortment. It's number 6 on page 129. So you would get a set of 8 in various colors, or you can get the uninked ones. So you get 5 of them without any ink whatsoever. And if you're like me, when you purchase your stamp pads, you get the re-inker that goes with it, because we can do watercoloring, we can re-ink our markers, we can re-ink the pads. There's just so many things we can do with the re-inker. And one of them is inking these little spots. And I like them because they are little. So when I'm over here inking up, it's small enough to where I'm not getting it all over the plastic. And it's a linen pad. And so you can press harder without it going down into the grooves. So that bubbly problem that we had with the new tempting Tahitian Tide, that's not going to happen with the linen. So I'm just going to ink that up. And if I'm not happy with this and I'm thinking, you know, I can see some little white spots in there, I'd like it to be a little darker, I can re-ink this a second time and then just go right back down in exactly the same spot. And this is something that you can't do with your regular, at least not without a whole lot of talent I don't have. You can't get it in the exact same spot. These work great if, like, when I was doing the little penguins or maybe the squirrel or something that you want very solid, maybe the ladybug, any of our really solid stamps, and you want a really deep, dark color, then being able to stamp twice or 3 times in the same spot is great. It also is fabulous on background stamps because, as we know, background stamps are hard to get an even pressure on. Actually, I'm missing my little squeegees. Let me go grab my cleaner. Okay, I have my little pieces of the Simply Chamois, and I cut it into fourths because, again, it works really well to clean little things off the Stamparatus. Okay, now I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to move it down 1 notch. So rather than putting my plate in up here, I'm putting my plate in down here. And these stamps are designed to where that's the exact distance that we need to do the next one and have it in line. Oh, this is another idea. You can see on the bottom, because we store our stamp pads upside down, in order to have the ink puddle on the top, you need to know what color it is from the bottom. So I just punched out a circle of the coordinating cardstock and I just adhered it to the bottom. And I only broke the seal on one side so I don't lose my lid. Some people like that. Some people find it gets in the way, so that's personal preference. Watching from outside, Melody's bragging that she's watching our live from outside, where it's gorgeous because I happen to know she's in Northern California and right on a lake. So lucky her. Okay, so now I'm moving it down to the next one, cleaning off my stamp and going to the next color. Just got one more. This one may need to be re-inked. It's not going as dark as the others, but we can just stamp again. Okay, now we have our real red. So then I'm going to move to the next notch and pumpkin pie. So I have Pacific Point, Gorgeous Grape, Real Red. This is Pumpkin Pie. And then the next one I have is actually Bumblebee, but it's super close to Crushed Curry. Bumblebee actually retired, but you almost can't tell the difference. So I'm just going to go with it. And then I'm going to go down one more, and we're going to do our last one. Oh, let's clean that off. Okay, somebody's saying Prize Patrol from Facebook, but I'm just getting Facebook user. So not sure who that is. But you need to make sure that you give Facebook permission for StreamYard to see your name. Because as Facebook user, it's not picking up your name for Prize Patrol drawings. YouTube doesn't make you do that. And I'm told YouTube doesn't do as many little hiccups. So that may be an option if that's being annoying. Okay, so there I have my string of happy. And we're ready to put it onto our card. And it actually doesn't look bad with those colors. My trimmer must have had a little bit of fuzz in the track. So to get rid of that, I use sandpaper. You can also use an emery board. So if you have a little nail file laying around, that will get the little fuzzies off the edge. And then we can adhere these together and put them onto our card base. Who has gone through the new catalog and made their wish list? You figured out what you want to get? Remember, as a customer, you get a free item out of the celebration brochure for every $50 to $100 that you spend, and they are cumulative. You can add them up and do multiples. And you would also, if you place a $300 order either by yourself or gathering your friends together, then you would qualify for a special stamp set for hostesses. And if you would like, you can actually order $175 worth of product for $99. And if you wanted to add on the little mini cut and emboss machine, that's just $30. And you get that with our starter kit. So exciting things coming in January. Okay, so there was not a die for cutting out this word. So I could have left it and cut it square, but I decided to just take some scissors and cut along the bottom. As I do this, you see that I hold my scissors straight and I turn the cardstock. To me, that's easier to keep my hand in a neutral position where I have control and I'm comfortable. And then I spin the paper to match where my scissors are. So if you're interested in hearing more about the starter kit, I would definitely love to speak with you, answer any questions that you have. If you decide to do it, you would actually join my team and become part of Creative Royalty. Okay. So there I have Fussy Cut Birthday. I maybe don't like this so much, so there we go. And now this one I want to pop up just a little bit, but it's kind of small, so my large dimensionals are not going to fit behind it really well. So that's where I'm going to bring in the minis. I mean, a large probably would have fit right here, but these minis are going to go all the way to the end and make sure that I have good even stacking all the way across. And then I thought it needed a little bit of embellishment, and you can use any embellishment you want. I chose to use the brushed brass butterflies. They happen to be one of my favorites because they are so flat. They mail really well because they don't poke through the envelope at all. So let's see, one up here. Let's do one there. Let's see. So I'm just going to do 3 of them. I keep them in these little containers that are actually from gum, the extra gum at the checkouts. I think it's 35 sticks of gum come in this thing. I save them for the embellishments. I put a label on the top that says what they are, and I keep them in my drawer, you know, in a row with all the labels on top, so they're easy to grab. Inside the card, I'm going to use a 4" by 5 1/4" thing of basic white, and I will probably grab a different stamp set with a internal greeting. A lot of our stamp sets are just greetings. And what I like about some of these is that they have an inside and an outside sentiment. So you could stamp happy birthday, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. Thank you. You shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. Just lots of different, with deepest sympathy, thinking of you with all my heart. So you have an inside and an outside version, and they would go with almost anything. And since I think this font looks very similar to this font, it will go well. Now let's do something else fun with this. I hadn't planned on it, so let's see how this goes. I'm going to set it on my grid paper, making sure it's straight. Then I'm going to put my block straight and go straight down. And then I'm going to bring in the Stampin' Write markers. I don't often bring these out on camera, but they are just our regular markers that are the same ink as our ink pads. They are a water-based ink, and so the refill that you get that fills the ink pad will also fill the markers. And they have a writing end, and they have a brush tip end. And I often will use the brush tip end. Let's see, what other colors do I have over here? I have red, yellow, blue, and orange. Okay, so I'm going to take this brush tip end, and I'm going to drag across the back of my red rubber. And what this is doing is applying ink to the red rubber. Now I want to be careful that I'm not going too far over and getting the blue ink onto my purple ink marker, etc. Normally, if we were doing this, if it was a flower or something, we start with our lightest color and move to the darkest so that you don't transfer color. But I just decided to wing this last minute, so let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm a little bit short, so let's go green. All right. Now I'm going to huff on it, which I know sounds weird, but I'm breathing onto it so the moisture from my breath re-inks or re-wets the ink, and then I'm going to stamp straight down. And look, it's stamped in a rainbow of colors so that it coordinates with the front of our card. Those are all the same colors. Isn't that fun? And again, I might look through my stamps, and if I had a stamp that was maybe a balloon or confetti or something cute, I might put that in the upper and lower corners, maybe put a little strip of color down the side. It's up to you. But I always decorate the inside of my card and then often the outside of an envelope. But there is today's card, done in some lighter and a little bit darker colors. So what do you think? Is this one you're going to give a try? It was really quick and easy. I tried to go a little bit slow with it, talked in between, and we're still done in less than half an hour. So I apologize to those of you who hopped on late, but It's just that easy. Make sure you have in hashtag prize patrol. That's how you're going to get entered into the drawing to get today's card. And I have the next one. On Thursday, we're going to be doing the bokeh technique. This is, again, something I have done before, but not in a while. So I've used my blending brushes in the background, and I've used white ink and just created some like bubble effects. And then this is actually heat embossed in black. But that's the card we're going to make on Thursday. So make sure you come back. And then, like I said, the following week, next week, we're going to be using Share a Milkshake, which is something out of our new catalog. So you will be able to order that one shortly. So let's share Prize Patrol and remove this one. And we're ready to spin. So it looks like Pat hopped in there last minute and put in Prize Patrol. And we're ready to spin. So there we go. Melody is our winner. Congratulations, Melody. You will be getting today's card mailed to you. It looks like you... Which one do you like? Do you like the darker one we did today or the lighter one I had made in advance? I absolutely have new catalogs. Deb, I thought you had gotten one in the mail from Stampin' Up. But if you have not, you can absolutely pop by and pick one up. I have the new catalog and the celebration brochures. Oops, I'm not showing that screen. Let's remove our winner. I'll give you the desk back. And flip that over here. These are the new catalogs that were mailed out recently. So that's our mini catalog. And then this is our celebration brochure. And when I was saying that you could get the $175 worth of product for $99, which is a special during January, February, there's also the option of adding on this cute little mini cut and emboss machine, which is in a new color, which they are hinting is a new in color coming out in our annual catalog in May. So thank you for joining me, and I appreciate you so much that you shop with me and you support me. Those other demos that are sending me the buy me a coffee off my website and supporting me and buying the tutorials, it's all helping, and it's allowing me to stay home and do a job that I absolutely love, which is teaching you guys how to make beautiful cards the easy way. So feel free to shoot me an email or pop on over to my website and contact me through there, and subscribe to YouTube. And as a customer, you can join my Facebook group, which is the Realm of Creativity. So thank you, and I will see you on Thursday. Thank you so much.